The Toronto Maple Leafs win a huge game against the Tampa Bay Lightning and what turned into be a bit of a nail biter. We have a couple of players coming back from injury and one player leaving the game with an injury. We'll get into all of that. And of course, a little bit of the defensive breakout at the end. But all in all, it was a great game. Welcome in everybody to the chat. Nice to see some familiar faces. Archie, Jim, of course, Jose. Jose, could tonight be the night? We'll find out. But great game from the Toronto Maple Leafs. We're going to break it all down. I'll address it off the top. Nick is not here tonight, but he'll be back in a video tomorrow. But this is going to be a lot of fun. Huge win for the Leafs. And also, right off the top, Jim's got it. Jim's got it. We got some new emotes. We unlocked some new emotes because of how many members we've gotten in the last month, which is fantastic. Thank you guys so much. Thank you everyone who's becoming a member, and thank you to everyone who's gifted members. That's Shane, that's Jim, a bunch of other names that I can't remember off the top of my head at this moment, but you know who you are. Thank you so much. And we got the new RoboCop animation. We got or emote, I should say. We got the brick wall. Let's start spamming brick wall. Let's spam some Go Leafs Go. Let's get brick wall in there. Fantastic game. Should have deserved the shutout in this one, I thought, but a little bit of a defensive breakdown in the end. It's some goals that weren't even his fault or even the team's fault for that matter. But let's get that brick wall spammed in the chat. And what I want to start with tonight, because it got a little bit hairy at the end. It really did. And I'm feeling good about the Leafs right now, their game, everything with that, right? And I think the entire fan base, the temperature in the fan base is real cool right now. I think everyone, that game against Florida, probably you'd like to have that. I didn't like the way they played in that game, but they bounced back with a really good performance tonight. And they've been playing great as of late. So lots to like. But I want to get into this right away, which is, how is this a penalty? 2 minutes left in the third. OEL, roughs, I think it was Isamont. No, sorry, it was Gensel. Right after the whistle there, big save by Woll, just pushes him. How is that a penalty? And the retaliation by Cirelli is not a penalty. That was mind-blowing to me. The fact that penalty made the game that close because they scored on the power play, the ensuing power play. That was insane to me. Like, that would never be called on OEL in Florida. That was insane. Jim gifting 10 members off the top here. Thank you so much, Jim. Starting it quick tonight. Welcome in me / Colleen, Rich. Oh, it's moving real fast for me. Chris. No Jose, unfortunately. Welcome everyone who is a new member to the channel. Jose will have to wait maybe another day. I was hoping that tonight would be the night, but maybe we're saving it for when Nick's back on the stream. That's going to be a moment. We're going to need confetti. We're going to need the whole 9 yards with that. But welcome to everybody who has now become a member. And thank you, Jim, again, for gifting 10 subs. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Welcome in, John. What did everyone think of the game? Let's get some thoughts going in the comments here. I like that, the Leafs finally got their 5-on-5 scoring going. That was really nice. I mean, Matthew Nyes, I'll play a little bit of it here. Obviously, we got to get into Jake McCabe as well. Played his 600th game, and he had to leave the game. But Nyes kicking the game off. I mean, Matthews getting involved. Chris Tanev really getting involved tonight. Nyes driving the net. I like to see that. They need to drive the net a little bit more. Tips the puck in. That was beautiful. And then, of course, my guy, I guess, this season on the channel, Nick Robertson finally bumps his slump, and what a beautiful shot, man. Like, the Leafs have Vasilevsky's number. I don't know what it is with him, but they know how to score on this guy, and Robertson with a beautiful shot. He has one of the best shots on the team. He just, unfortunately has had some bad luck, and you can hear him on the broadcast, like that release of energy. So, really love that from him. But, yeah, Pacioretty is eligible to return, I believe, on December 10th. Corey, I believe it was December 10th because they had to make the salary cap work with so many injuries, so they had to put him on LTIR, which I don't think he would have been on LTIR, but he had to stay for an extended period of time to make the salary cap work. So I think he's eligible. It's either the 10th or the 14th. I can't remember. There's somebody else is on LTIR. There are so many injuries right now, and it might be Jake McCabe as well. There are so many injuries right now. What's up, Marshall? Thank you for tuning in. That I can't keep up. I can't keep with the injuries. I don't know who's on IR, LTIR off the top of my head right now, but somebody else is on LTIR and eligible to come back. So from Jim, Austin Matthews, decent return game. Nyes doing nice things. Exactly. Love Nyes. But can we talk about JT turning back the clock and being a force every shift? Yes. And I have to give credit to Mark Pye, who's actually on Hat Trick HQ as well as Canucks Digest, that brought this up to me the other day. John Tavares is second in the league in puck battles won this season. I mean, he really, like, I don't know if it was the captaincy coming off and maybe a little bit less pressure, because let's not kid ourselves. That comes with a lot of pressure, right? We were talking about how Austin Matthews was talking about how, you know, him and the organization were saying, don't change anything about yourself. You're being gifted the captaincy because of who you are. It still comes with a lot of pressure. So I don't know if it's the captaincy being taken off of him or what it is, but he has a little bit of a nice season going here. He is putting together a real tidy season, not just on, you know, in points, which is, it's been fantastic. Like, I think he can score 90 points this year, which is crazy at his age, given what we thought was going to happen at the end of this contract. And he's winning puck battles like crazy. Like, he's creating so many chances. He created at least 2 goals, I think, tonight. So he has been fantastic. Banking on the fourth line was great. Nice energy player there. I think his ceiling's a lot higher than that, but I think it's going to take some time probably on the Marlies to kind of, you know, marinate down there in the AHL a little bit. He's, it's nice to see him called up, and I mean, how do you not love that player, check, right?
For a check and paycheck.
Like, I love Gurbankin. He's fantastic. So I hope that he sticks around, but I think he'll probably go back down to the AHL. But I think John has a good point. I mean, we're finally seeing, because I didn't see in the Dubas administration too many players come up from the AHL and make a difference ever, right? And not even just come up from the AHL when there was an injury. When it was time to graduate to the NHL, okay, this player like Liljegren, right? Like, they wouldn't come in and make an impact. And right now we're seeing that 100%. So I'm really, really loving that. But again, I mean, even Fraser Mitten tonight, he made a couple really good board plays where I was like, oh, maybe you can stick around, right? There's these moments where you're like, okay, like, they're winning me over. But I think obviously they need some more time in the AHL, that's for sure. But maybe it's the win making me feel soft, but I'm pulling for your boy Robertson. RoboCop, the new emote, if anyone wants to use that, spam that in the chat as well. But we got RoboCop on the board tonight. It was a great goal, man. Like, this is what he does. Streaks in off the wing and just blows it past the goaltender. This is what he does, and he finally did it tonight. And I think he's had a lot of bad luck. Like, I think he can have upwards of 8 or 9 goals already this season, honestly. Like, listen, when we're talking about luck, luck is luck. And yes, the puck is not going in. We have to talk about the fact of the matter. And even last stream, I was saying, like, we have to start dealing with reality. This is not working. But if he does kind of turn it around, if this does go to his legs, like, it could do something. We'll see what happens, right? But if it's still status quo after this, then I can see them moving off of him still. And I think that's probably where it's going, right? Like, he scored in 1 game, right? But it's a good feeling still. It's a nice goal and a big win. So love that. But Tanev scored as well. I wanted to bring that up too. Thank you. But you know, his first as a Toronto Maple Leaf, and his first in a long time. Not just as a Maple Leaf, that was his first goal in a long time. So love to see that for Chris Tanev too. And he's been so good for this Leafs team. This is exactly the player that they needed, and they finally got him. He's been amazing defensively. His transition game is awesome. Nobody really, like, he doesn't get the praise that he deserves all the time, because he makes it that much of a difference every game. And he finally gets rewarded tonight with a goal. So I love that. And yeah, splitting up Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner looked great tonight. And I think it'll look great forever if they continue to do that. And I think that's the thing. It makes line matching more difficult. I think I would even go as far as, when they're fully healthy, to have the top 3 guys split up on 3 lines, right? Like, I would do Matthews on one line, Nylander on one line, Marner on another line. And, you know, you don't have to name them lines 1, 2, and 3. But at this point, even, I wouldn't even do, like, I don't even know what the Leafs' first line is right now, because the one with Tavares and Marner on it is fantastic. And obviously you have Matthews and Nylander on another line. So it's been really, really good. I don't even know if you would name a line 1 or line 2 right now, but it's making line matching really, really difficult. And the dynamic of the lines coming into tonight, I thought was very interesting, because you have Matthew Nyes, who's like the dog, right? He's going to go get you the puck. And then you have Austin Matthews and William Nylander, who obviously, like, in Matthews' absence, Nylander has been fantastic. And then obviously Austin Matthews, you know, add him back into the mix. That's a really dangerous line. Tavares and Marner have been great together. McMahon has been on their wing, making a difference. Holmberg slots in tonight. I thought that was interesting too, kind of that nice type, I guess, on that line. Berube likes to work in pairs, so you kind of just throw anybody there. Would like to see McMahon there, but obviously he might be out for some time. Holmberg has been really weird to me this year. The last 2 years, I've fallen in love with this player. I'm like, this guy can do no wrong in my eyes. I think he's going to be a great role player. And for some reason this year, like when I watched him live, I went to the game against the New York Rangers earlier this year. He's just taking weird routes to pucks. He's not playing guys properly in the offensive zone. I saw it again a couple times tonight. I'm like, why would you go that way to the puck? Like you're going to lose that race. So I don't know what it is with him. Maybe it's a psychological thing this year. I don't know what it is. Maybe the new coaching shift, because they are playing a little bit differently. It's very obvious, but I don't know what it is exactly, but he's got to get going, I think, as well. So, no, it's been fantastic. And obviously, I want to spend some time talking about, you know what, before we get into Joseph Woll, because I want to talk about Joseph Woll and the goaltending, because that's turning into a very interesting story as well. I just wanted to mention that Jake McCabe, playing in his 600th game tonight, gets hit in the side of the head. It looked like maybe the ear, with a puck, and he left the game. He did not return. So that is another guy, at least it's not a forward this time, but that is another guy that may end up on the IR for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They are really going through it right now. The Marlies are getting a lot of exercise with the transactions, a lot of paperwork going on right now at Coca-Cola Coliseum, getting them up and down. But and the other thing I will mention is Alex Steeves was sent down today. We're going to have a video on that tomorrow, just kind of detailing everything that went along with that and all the salary movement. And they made a couple other moves as well. So very interesting stuff. But Alex Steeves was sent down tonight as well. Let's talk about Joseph Woll. And yes, the Leafs hang on. And that was the first time that they had a lead this year where I was kind of concerned. I was a little bit concerned. Like I felt like last year, the last couple of years, but they held on. And I think a big part of that is Joseph Woll. Tonight, I think he deserved a better fate. I think he deserved that shutout. It kind of got ugly near the end there, but he held them in the game. He made a ton of saves. His save percentage was unbelievable this year. I mean, I can bring it up here in just a second here. It was unbelievable. Like all the stats tonight, I mean, they were all pretty good, except for the last maybe 10 minutes of the game, which you got to play a full 60, right? But Joseph Woll was fantastic. And, I'm not going to start a goaltending controversy here. I'm really going to try not to do that. But Stolarz did not have his best game. Like his worst game of the season last game. I think Berube probably went, hey, I'm going to put Joseph Woll in net tonight just to kind of calm the nerves down so they're not thinking about last game and that it's the same goalie in net. And also, I think you need to give Stolarz a rest before you play literally every single day or every other day in December. So Joseph Woll comes back in. He's been playing fantastic. There was a lot of, health concerns earlier in the year. Can he be the guy? His first two games were not great. He's been fantastic since, so I want to give him props for that. Joseph Woll, 39 saves tonight, 923 on the night. Fantastic. And he's been the brick wall. He's been fantastic. So the Leafs legitimately have two fantastic goalies right now. And Stolarz, I'm sure he'll get back in like Monday night against Chicago and everything will be fine. Like I'm not worried about the Florida game at all from him. Like you're going to have a bad game as a goalie a couple times a year. So totally fine with that. And it's going to be a busy month. So give him some rest. Woll played fantastic. Held them in there. So, yes. And the stream is at 18 likes, guys. Let's try to get right now to 30 likes. Let's see if we can get to 30 likes. Help us out there. It really helps us out on the channel. And I appreciate that. Shout out, Jim. Oh, this is interesting too. Not Leafs related, but this has been making the rounds on everything today. From Joshua, what do you think about the trade between the Blue Jackets and the Wild today? Joshua, I did see your comment on our video earlier, so I appreciate you reaching out. But I will get to that in a second because Robert coming in with a $5 donation. Do you think Hakanpää plays if McCabe can't play next game? I think it's very interesting because Hakanpää is a right shot defenseman. And they've kind of been like holding him back. So I'm not sure what's going on with Hakanpää there. I think he's played 2 games so far this season. So I don't know exactly what's going on there, but I can see them kind of mixing up the defense pairings if McCabe can't play. And the fact that he didn't return tonight is not good news to me. So could just be precautionary. We'll see. But I do wonder if they put him in. I don't see them calling somebody up. I'll put it that way. Like somebody is going to get in here. It's Hakanpää or Myers, right? So they're not going to call up a Marley, I don't think. For the defense at least, but yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully McCabe is okay. I'm sure we'll get some clarity either tonight or tomorrow. Berube's probably speaking right now, so we'll get some clarity on that. But yeah, thank you for the donation, Robert. Really appreciate it. Helps the channel out a lot. And perspective, last game was Stolarz' worst. Half of the forwards injured, and they went 8-1-1. Exactly. You're going to have a bad game once in a while. It's exactly that. But Joshua, to get back to your question real quick, The David Juracek, who was a 6th overall pick 2 years ago, got traded today for another first-round pick and a couple other picks and a third-round prospect who was selected in the 3rd round. I thought it was very interesting. The Columbus Blue Jackets don't look like they know how to develop players right now. The organization's a little bit of a mess the last 2 years. This is a guy in Juracek who thinks he can play in the NHL. There's a lot of question marks around him right now. So I thought that was a incredibly interesting trade that Minnesota jumped on that. I thought there was a lot of other teams that could probably do that. Minnesota's D-core, if this player works out, which I think he still can, if he was in an organization that is run smoothly and you're not being bounced up and down between the AHL and the NHL in your first 2 seasons. So I do think it's going to work out really well for the Minnesota Wild. I think they got a really great deal there. But to get back to the Leafs, I think, Jose, I think you're right. Like, the Leafs probably at this point have the best goaltending tandem in the league. Like, maybe the Winnipeg Jets is the only other team I can really think of. The New York Rangers also have a really good tandem. But in terms of, obviously, we're Leaf fans and we're looking at it that way, what they've been able to do for the Leafs this year, and that that this Leafs team hasn't had in the last 3, 4, 5 years, maybe since Freddie Anderson. And even then, it's crazy. I think that they are probably the best tandem in the league right now. They've been fantastic. I don't know if they have the best 1A goaltender in the league. That's definitely, I don't know if that's a thing that's true, but they definitely have the best tandem right now. So I think that's great. I think McCabe will be back, and Weirdy hasn't been slotted in. Well, hopefully we'll see what happens with McCabe. I'm sure we'll get some updates on him. But thank you, everyone, for 31 likes. We appreciate it. We'll get to the Rangers in a second. But we just hit 31 likes. New goal. Let's see if we can get to 50. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and everybody who's donated so far or gifted memberships as well. Really, really appreciate it. And shout out to everyone who's in here right now, all 106 of you. The Caps also have a decent tandem. The Devils upgraded, I think, their goaltending a little bit over the last couple years. The Rangers, very underrated. Shesterkin's one of the best goaltenders in the league. Right now, the Rangers are playing a very unsustainable brand of hockey, and they're going to have to fix that, or else they might miss the playoffs, and I'm being very serious. They're playing very unsustainable hockey. They're giving up 40 to 50 shots a night. Shesterkin's keeping them in games. Jonathan Quick, very underrated still at his age, is keeping them in games. He's giving them a lot of really, really good minutes. So, yes, I do think the Rangers. The Devils, I don't know. We'll see, but we'll see how that works out. We'll see when we get to the playoffs, the Devils. But, I thought the Leafs played really fantastic. Just to get back to the Leafs again. They also have Tampa's number, I think, in that building. Not even in that building, just overall now, ever since that playoff series win. Like, it just seems like the Leafs just beat Tampa all the time. And not just that, shout out to Matthew Nyes for continuing to score in that building. He lost the national championship in the NCAA in that building, joined the Leafs a week later, won a playoff series with them in that building, getting an assist on the winning goal, and he just continues to score in that building. So shout out to Matthew Nyes. He's been awesome. Not just like against Tampa. This guy, I mean, last year, I have to admit, I was wrong. Last year, I was like, I'm not sure he can play on the top line. I'm not sure he can keep up with Matthews and Marner for 82 games. And yes, I'll get to that in a second. I'll address that. For 82 games. And this year, completely proven me wrong. He's been awesome. He definitely deserves that spot on the first line. He's been fantastic in that role. Now, Jim brings this up, and Shane has been bringing it up the last couple streams as well. Can we get an update on the possibility of call-ins? Now, if you're new here, or to the, obviously to the network, because we have this going on a couple other channels within the network, call-ins on streams, we're working on it. We're really trying to work on the back end here to get it going kind of seamlessly and make it as easy as possible for you guys too, because there's ways we can do it that are super complicated that we figured out already, but I think it's far too complicated, and we want to make it a good time. We want to make it really easy for you guys, and we want you guys to be involved in the conversation and give your thoughts, because it's hard to articulate your thoughts through a chat box. I understand that. So we really want to give everyone a chance to join the conversation and have, a couple minutes to chat with us live on stream. So we're definitely working on it. We're talking about it all the time, and we're working on the back end. We just want to make it as easy as possible for the viewers, of course, to call in, and then so it sounds good and it's watchable as well. So we're working on the back end. There's the update. I know we've been teasing it since the summer, and some people are new and have only definitely joined in the last couple weeks every live stream here, and we really appreciate you guys. But we've been talking about it since the summer. We're trying to work on it. So that's the update. It's happening. It's happening. I can't give you a date when, but it's absolutely happening. We want you guys involved in conversation. We appreciate you guys always tuning in and giving your thoughts. It's been awesome. This community is fantastic. So, Nyes looks like a man playing with boys at times. It's like he's 6'3", 230 pounds, and he's quick. And I think there's a difference between being fast and being quick. He's quick. He is awesome. He's fantastic. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Marshall. And thank you to everyone who's tuning in right now. We're 10 likes away from our goal. Let's get to 50 likes, please. Smash that like button. And what did anyone else see? Shane, what's up? Shane is here, everybody. Let's go. What did everybody else see from the game? The Leafs obviously have Vasilevsky's numbers. Is there anything specific anybody liked? Bring it up in the chat box. From this game specifically, or that the Leafs are doing recently. Like, I really like that tonight. Shane, could it be Jose? Thank you, Shane, for gifting 10 memberships. We're gonna see here. I don't think it is. I thought tonight was the night. It's fate. It can't happen. It can't happen on the night that Nick is not here. It's fate. It is unfortunate. But welcome, everybody that has just become a member. You now have access to channel membership perks. And obviously, you can use emojis as well. Some custom emojis. We got some new ones tonight as well. If anyone wants to take a look at those. We got RoboCop and Brick Wall. Thank you again, Shane, so much for gifting 10 members. Awesome. You've been such an amazing supporter of this channel since a year. It's been so long. So it's awesome. Thank you so much. And Sheriff Berube in the house. That's right. I do wonder, Jose, I have to say, I wonder if there's a setting off for you. I really do, because the odds of that are unbelievable. Honestly, it is crazy, but I think it's fate. I think it's going to happen when Nick is in the stream here. So I think it couldn't have been tonight, but thank you so much, Shane. Really appreciate it. It means a lot. And Scorch, yeah, welcome. You now have access to channel membership perks and Sheriff Brube, as you see there as well. But yeah, let me know in the chat, like, if there's anything you saw tonight or that the Leafs are doing recently that you really like. And there's a couple of things I've touched on them so far this stream. And I think, one of them is definitely, that they're buying into Berube's system. And by Berube's system, I mean...
Back check, forward check, and paycheck.
So I'm loving that from the team. It's been fantastic. And I think they're more dedicated to defense. I think they're sacrificing, like, if you look at their defensive stats, team defensive stats, everything is way better this year. Eric with the $13.99 donation. Super chat. Thank you so much, Eric. If you want to leave a comment, I'll be sure to read it out there. There was no comment attached to that one, but thank you so much, Eric. You are a legend supporting the channel. Thank you so much for that. I feel Woll played a Vasilevsky style game and Vasilevsky didn't. I think the Leafs have figured out Vasilevsky. I honestly do. Shots from the point, get traffic in front. For some reason, they don't do it against other teams. But I guess, the structure of other teams don't allow for it, like Florida. Although you gotta break through somehow. I mean, if you play them in the playoffs, you gotta figure it out. But I know that the Gerbankin clip is amazing. That is the best clip this year for sure. It's gonna end up being the best clip this year. And Eric, again, if you want to leave a comment, I'll be sure to read that. There was no comment to that, but yeah, I think Vasilevsky, very interesting. They have his number. Even in the playoff series that they won, shots from the point, you saw it. Traffic in front, shots from the point, just lay him in. And they were doing that. So it's going to be interesting. Does it make a difference from American to Canada membership? No, I don't think so. I don't even know if there is. I was just speculating. I have no idea if there's actually a setting. The odds of that happening make me believe that you might just have a setting off or something. I don't know. But I don't even know if that's possible. Thank you, Mr. Relaxation. I appreciate that. Welcome in. This is a little bit of a relaxing stream, actually, too. I was getting a little tense there in the third period because I thought that they were going to do it again, but then I remembered Berube's the coach, so it ended up being a little bit different. William Nylander, speaking of relaxation and being cool, calm, and collected, that empty netter, that was sick. He was like, "Let me handle this real quick." Like, everyone's bobbling the puck. Austin Matthews is like, "Oh my god, I'm bobbling the puck. I can't control it." William Nylander picks it up. "I got this, guys." Robert with another another super chat. Let's get this going. Did you hear Craig Simpson say they scored on a power play that should not have been a power play? Almost blew, but not upset that they played well. They almost blew it. Yeah, I touched on that earlier in the stream. I'll bring it up again here. I'm just going to find it. I have no idea how this is a penalty. I honestly don't. It's pretty embarrassing that the official called that right away. If OEL's in Florida, I promise you that's not a penalty. I think that's unbelievable that was a penalty. That happens 500 times a game. And not only that, there was a pick on Marner like a couple minutes before that was called on Justin Hall in the playoffs in a game 7 a couple years ago, and it's not called in a regular season game 24 of the season. That is unbelievable. I can't believe they called that. I cannot believe that. Benoit's been playing great. Yeah, ever since he's been scratched, like he was very like mid all season until he got scratched for 2 games. And since he got scratched, man, he's come back in like he wanted to prove something to Berube, like, which he should anyway, right? But ever since that scratching, man, he's come in and played fantastic. So Eric, there was rumors of the Leafs getting rid of either Stolarz or Wall. Now, there was conflicting reports and there was a lot of accounts saying the wrong thing. So Kyprios came out the other day and said that, he wonders if the Leafs look at options past Stolarz and Wall. So basically trading Hildeby or maybe I can't remember his name right now. It escapes me from the Marlies. He's been fantastic. Oh my goodness, I can't remember his name. Artur is his first name. Axiomov, that's right. Trading him or even Matt Murray, right? So there's rumors around that. Is it possible that the Leafs even, move off of one of their goaltenders right now, which I think is incredibly unlikely. I would not do that. What if you run into an injury in the playoffs and then all of a sudden you have to play Matt Murray, who's not played in the NHL in a year and also just had surgery, or a kid in Dennis Hildeby who doesn't have much NHL experience, or Axiomov who has 0 NHL experience. So I would not trade any of those guys right now. I said that in a video a couple days ago. I would not trade any of them. But if one of them was up for trade, it would have to be probably, like, if you're talking like if a team approached you and said, we don't want an older goaltender, it would have to be Dennis Hildeby, I think, at this point, because Axiomov looks like the real deal to me. Like, he looks like he's going to be a stud. But it's Matt Murray right now. You can easily shop Matt Murray. There's a lot of other teams looking for goaltending, and I think you have really good depth all of a sudden in Toronto. So I think it's Matt Murray. But I don't think there's a chance. We're just doing our due diligence, talking about it, because obviously Kipper came out and said, there's a chance teams are kicking tires on it. So I was like, that is very interesting. I want to talk about that, but I don't think there's a world where the Leafs trade one of their goaltenders right now. I mean, Joseph Woll's playing fantastic, new contract kicking in next year, and obviously Stolarz on, I think, the best value contract for a goaltender in the entire league. So they've both been fantastic. But I can see a world where the Leafs approach a team and say, listen, we have a goaltender there in the Marlies. He wants to play. He's feeling a lot better. Let's get Matt Murray here in a trade, and let's get a centerman back. Right? The Leafs need a centerman, so let's get that rolling a little bit. And yes, the brick wall. Let's get some brick walls in the chat. We're gonna wrap it up here very soon. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Any final thoughts in the chat? I thought tonight was a fantastic game, and thanks for hanging out, everybody, here on the stream. It's been a lot of fun, and of course, Nick will be back in our next video, and he'll be back on stream. Very busy month for the Toronto Maple Leafs coming up. It's gonna be a little bit crazy. They play every other day. Their longest break that isn't Christmas Eve, Christmas, and Boxing Day is 2 days long in the month of December. So they're really making up for some reason. I think it was 3 games in 14 days or 15 days in November, which I thought was crazy. So, Jim, you're a legend. Thank you so much. Jim with another $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Jim. I freaking love this channel. That's all, Darius. Thank you so much. That's the final thought. And Shane with 5 gifted subs. Thank you. Another one. We'll get this going again. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Shane. You guys are the OGs. You guys are awesome. You guys are legends. Thank you so much for this, man. We really appreciate this on the channel. But yeah, no Jose again. So we're gonna have to figure that out for you, Jose. We'll get you a membership. We're gonna get you a membership. But welcome everybody who just became members as well. How are you now, Jordan, Anthony, not the other Amber? Welcome in. You now have access to. Sorry, I was having a hard time reading those names for some reason, so small. But you now have access to channel membership perks as well as emojis on our live streams. We have a couple new ones tonight, so it's been fun. Thank you again, Jim and Shane. You guys are legends, absolutely. But any final thoughts before we wrap it up here? Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I thought that was a fantastic game by the Leafs. Hopefully they stay on track. Very busy month. Yes, I was talking about the month, of course. Play Chicago on Monday. I think that's going to be an interesting game. Play Washington a couple times this month. I think that's going to be crazy. They just have to keep up the winning efforts. And I think it's going to be interesting coming into this month. A lot of guys are going to become healthy and come back into the lineup, but they're also dealing with almost injuries every game. I wonder if it's a style of game that they're playing now. But yes, Shane, I wouldn't say I'm happy. I'm happy to grow it for Movember. I think it's a great cause and all of that. So I'm happy to do it. Something different every Movember. And yeah, I would say I'm happy to grow back the beard though. So that's definitely happening. And the mustache will go away. It's only a November thing, November exclusive. So that's going away. But I wouldn't say I'm happy about it. But yes, help us reach our like goal. We're 3 away right now. We're 3 away. Help us get that like goal up. But thank you so much, everybody. And the Canes might be linked to a goaltender as well, and Matt Murray. I think that could be an interesting fit. I wonder if they do have a center. That could be something that we discuss in the future. Not saying that that's going to work exactly like that. I'm not saying you have to trade Matt Murray for a center or anything like that, but we'll see how that plays out. I think that'll be very interesting. But yeah, very busy month coming up here. Hopefully they can stay healthy. They're getting a couple guys back from injury. Hopefully, day-to-day is what was said for Bobby McMahon, so hopefully he's back soon as well. We don't right now have an update on Jake McCabe, so hopefully he's all right as well. Pacioretty should be back in 2 weeks. Max Domi should be back. We still don't have really any updates on that. Besides, he wasn't making this trip, so he could actually play this week. We don't know for sure. Thank you, Eric, with the shout out to Joseph Wall. He is the brick wall. He is everything for this team right now. Him and Stolars have been fantastic. But I don't know if I will go. You know what, Jim? You know what? Thank you so much, Eric. You are a legend. We're gonna have to make some. We might have to make a legend here on the channel. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate you guys. But Jim, I don't think I'm gonna go Hulk Hogan here. I can't say that's in my. I don't think that's in my interest. I don't think that's in the viewing audience's best interest at this point. So I don't think that I'm gonna go full Hulk Hogan on this one. Can't say I've ever tried it as well. So that's. I don't think that's happening. I think the beard is coming back after this month. So it was a fun ride. I'll see the mustache again next year. We'll do it again, but that'll be fun. But we're 2 likes away from our goal of 50 likes. We'll hang around here just for a little bit longer. I just want to talk about the schedule really quick. I'm actually going to pull it up here very quickly because I think, there's some interesting matchups on the go next month. So I want to bring them up. We have Chicago on Monday. We have the Nashville Predators, a little bit of a homestand coming up here as well. We have the Nashville Predators on Wednesday. The other thing, too, I wanted to bring up is we'll get to a legend here. We'll talk about it. The Leafs play so many back-to-backs this month. I think they have 4 back-to-backs, and they're Friday, Saturday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Friday, Saturday. Insane. Very busy. And let's get, yes, you know what? How could I forget? We're going to do our 3 stars. We're absolutely going to do our 3 stars of the night. Nick is not here, but we're going to do our 3 stars of the night. How could I forget that? Thank you so much, chat. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, my 3rd star of the night tonight is going to be, you know what? Let me think about this really quick. There's a couple of good suggestions in here as well. Benoit being 1st star is a little for this game. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to go with my 3rd star being John Tavares. He's creating opportunities for other players in the lineup right now, winning puck battles. He's had a renaissance, if you want to call that, of a season since losing the captaincy. I don't even want to put it that way, since handing the captaincy off to Austin Matthews. So he is going to be my 3rd star. My 2nd star of the game, honorable mention to Matthew Knies as well. My 2nd star of the game is going to be Chris Tanev. He's been everything for this team defensively. His transition game is fantastic. Scored his 1st goal as a Maple Leaf tonight. I don't know how many times I'm going to have Chris Tanev in my 3 stars, even though, the first half of the season I put him in there a lot because of his defensive abilities. 2nd star, my 1st star tonight is the brick wall, Joseph Wall. He held them in the game, made some crazy stops. He was fantastic tonight. So he is my first star of the night. And I'm not sure how many times I will say that, or I wasn't sure when the season started how many times I would say that this season. So he was awesome. And maybe, yeah, no, not the glasses and the handlebar. I don't think that's happening. Sorry, guys. Sorry to crush your dreams there, but I don't think that the Hulk Hogan handlebars are not coming out. Sorry. But yeah, Wolf first star. He's been fantastic. And if we just say our prayers and take our vitamins, maybe the Leafs will win a Stanley Cup this year. That'll be fun. But before we wrap up here, since we have 89 of you here and we just hit our like goal of 50 likes, thank you everybody who's watching. Before we wrap up the stream here, I just wanted to throw the question out there. What is your favorite Toronto Maple Leafs memory ever? Ever, right? It could be a playoff memory. It could be a specific goal, a specific save. It could be a feeling that you felt when they were in the playoffs one year. What is your favorite Toronto Maple Leafs memory of all time? I want to see it in the chat box right now. I think this is a fun little activity for us to do. I'm really curious because we have a lot of people, a lot of familiar faces here in the chat that have been tuning in every live stream. Yes, Zach, we absolutely did discuss the call. I have no idea how that was a penalty. Absurd that was a penalty at that point in the game. I think that's embarrassing on that ref. But yes, Darius Mania. What you gonna do when Darius Mania runs wild on you? But yeah, the Gilmore wraparound, I think that's a great one. Yeah, send them all in the chat. Your favorite memory, your favorite Leafs memory. Ty Domi fighting in the box against the Philadelphia Flyers. That's a great one. 93 playoff run as a whole. That was a fantastic run. I mean, you're going through the best team in the NHL and the Detroit Red Wings at that point. You score an overtime in Game 7 to make it to the second round. You have to go through the St. Louis Blues. Then obviously they run into the Los Angeles Kings, and of course, there was the high sticking thing, but they had one more game to win as well, right? They had one more opportunity after that one. People tend to forget. High stick was in Game 6. They played a Game 7. They lost that. But Gary Roberts putting his team on his back against the Ottawa Senators. Not just Gary Roberts. The one year, I believe it was 2002, Sundin gets hurt in the first round or just before the first round against the Islanders. Doesn't play until the third round, right? The Leafs went all the way to the third round without their captain and their best player. They get to the third round. They're down 1-0 in Game 6. He scores the tying goal. They ended up losing that game, unfortunately. But he scores the tying goal. I've never heard, the ACC or Scotiabank Arena that loud ever. And I don't know if it, unless they win a Stanley Cup, will ever get that loud again. But that was crazy. But Tavares 2023 Game 6 OT winner against Tampa. That was a great moment as well. Sundin scoring 4 goals. I think that was against the Florida Panthers. That was a great moment. I remember Sundin's 500th goal against Calgary. That was a really cool moment. I watched that. Kind of giving up my age a little bit there as well. But don't remember too many games in the 90s. But Darcy Tucker fighting Chris Neil and the entire Ottawa bench. That was a good one too. There's a lot of good ones. I remember there was one Brian McCabe scores in the playoffs one year. I think it was against Ottawa. I think it made it 3-0. It was just it was the dagger there in the third period, and Ottawa knew that they were going to lose. That was a good one. Corey Cross scores in overtime in Game 3 in 2001, I believe. Leafs go up 3-0 against the Ottawa Senators, who smoked them all year in the regular season, and then the Leafs swept them in the playoffs that year. So that was another good moment. Lots of good moments. And hopefully there's a lot more good moments this year. There's a lot of good moments in recent memory as well. Like last year's playoffs, I thought, actually maybe no moments from last year's playoffs specifically, but 2023 had some moments, right? Especially, finally winning a round. 2022 as well. There's a couple when they were close, like in 2022, but Morgan Riley Game 7 goal, right? So there's a couple in recent memory, but yeah, when the Leafs, and we got the first pick. That's right, Austin Matthews, game changer. Austin Matthews 4-goal game. I remember I couldn't believe that was happening. His first game, he scored 4 goals because there's all this hype and you're like, yeah, he's going to be an amazing player, but how good is he really, right? And he scores 4 goals in his first game and you're like, I don't even know what to expect. We have been gifted like greatness in him, in Austin Matthews in Toronto, and I don't know if we fully realize it yet. When we look back, because he's probably going to beat Sundin's goal record this year or next year already. He's only 27. When we look back, I mean, it's going to be unbelievable. So we've really been, blessed with this player, I think, in this organization. So Wendell Clark trucking everybody. Wendell Clark used to just bash through everybody and then score a goal at the end. His helmet would be all crooked and like in front of his face and stuff. That was funny. and he had the handlebar mustache. So best memory was 1976, 10 years old, first Leaf game at the Garden. Sittler scored 10 points. I believe that was against the Boston Bruins. I could be wrong. And I don't think anybody's ever going to break that record. So yeah, that is a good one. That is a fantastic one. I'll always remember my first Leaf game as well. I was sick. I had the flu, and I think I was in the washroom throwing up every time the Leafs scored. I vividly remember just hearing that horn go off. And I'm in the washroom, just so sick, but it was fun. It was fun. I was like, wow, this is crazy. This is the Leafs, right? Live. But yeah, I think Matthews, yeah, he is already for real. Matthews, I think, is probably the greatest Leaf of all time. If he adds a little bit of playoff success, oh my goodness, man, he's going to be, I think, without a doubt, probably one of the best Leafs of all time. I think there's other guys you could still put there who've actually won the cup, right, that I do think are still maybe in higher regard there, and even Sundin for me at this point, but he's going to break Sundin's record, so I think it's going to be interesting. But yeah, but Robert, yeah, that is, can we just point that out for a second? Shane, that's a good point. Robert seeing that live is insane. Like, that is one of the best moments in not just Leafs history, but NHL history. The guy scored 10 points. It's unbelievable. But yeah, unbelievable. That's really cool. But yeah, lots of great moments in Leafs history. Yeah, it's something like that, Jim. It was very close to that, actually. And I remember like just being like, I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to go to this game. I was like, you know what, man, like I gotta go. This is my first Leafs game, and it was they weren't great at that time. I will say that. So it wasn't great, but yeah, I don't think I saw any Leaf goals that night. It was against Buffalo as well, so that was fun. But Sundin tarnishes legacy going to Vancouver instead of letting us trade him. Yeah, hindsight's 2020 as well, right? I think these guys are competitive. I think the same thing, and we're going to see it as well. I think the same thing is happening to Sidney Crosby right now, where he thinks, and if you read Matt Sundin's book, he says in the book that he didn't want to get traded because he believed that Leafs team could win, which is absurd because there was no world where that team was even going to make the playoffs, even though I think they lost or they missed the playoffs by 1 point that year. But he believed in his mind that team could win, and that's why he didn't want to leave. And he was wrong. I'll just say that. But when you're in it and you're competitive like that, and he's tied to the city like that, you don't want to leave. And I could see the same thing happening with Sidney Crosby right now. Like, the Penguins are not a good team. He doesn't want to leave. He wants to retire there. So maybe his legacy won't be tarnished in that way. But I think Sundin he wanted to win. He wanted to stay here. And then the Leafs were like, listen, we can't even re-sign you. Like, it just doesn't even make sense at this point. Like, they were on the slope going down. But yeah, I don't... yeah, I think, Sundin had a contract that, he didn't have to do anything that he didn't want to, I think, at the end of the day. And I still hold Matt's in really high regard. I think he's my favorite Leaf of all time. So, yeah, I don't know. Have a good night, Marshall. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Jim. Thank you for tuning in. And Paul, everybody, thank you for tuning in. I think we'll wrap it up there. Appreciate the good chats tonight. And big Leafs win and a lot of good Leafs memories as well. It's crazy that some of you got to witness that in person. That was awesome. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll leave you with the outro here. And Nick and I will be back for another video tomorrow and a video every day. We'll keep you posted. And it's going to be a very busy month. Expect us live after every single Leafs game this December. It's going to be a little bit crazy. I have a very busy schedule. But we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you, everyone who, gave some super chats tonight, gifted memberships as well. Really appreciate everything, guys. This was fantastic, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.
Tales of old where legends are told, from first pop drop to the season's full. Tune in and watch the drama unfold.